Jai Shri Ram. In the Isavasya upanishad, the ninth shloka presents an interesting paradox. It goes like this: Andham tamah pravishanti ye avidyam upasate tato bhuya iva te tamo ya u vidyayam rataha. Those devoted to illusion enter blinding darkness. Those devoted to avidya. Avidya is ignorance, or illusion, delusion. Adi Shankaracharya said in the context here, avidyam should be understood as rituals. That is Adi Shankaracharya's interpretation. So let us see. So those who are devoted to ignorance enter blinding darkness. Into greater darkness enter those who are solely attached to knowledge. So both are going into blinding darkness. So you have to. So Adi Shankaracharya said, Vidya means knowledge of the deity. So what Adi Shankaracharya was saying is that not only the rituals but also the philosophy, the knowledge of the deity, all these things have to be combined. It is not a rejection of ritual or a rejection of philosophy. Shankaracharya meant that there should be a combination of both. So, if you examine it very carefully, the secrets of spiritual knowledge are called Vidya and spiritual ignorance is Avidya. Knowledge of truth is Vidya and knowledge of this illusion is Maya. Anyway, the attributes of the Atma are indescribable, ineffable. You cannot describe what is an Atma, how it looks and all that. But our scriptures and rishis have provided a way. It is like this. It is called Arundhati Nyaya, which means proceeding from the gross to the subtle. And then to the still more subtle. In Indian marriages, we have this custom of showing the star Arundhati to a young bride. They first show her the Saptarishi Mandal, the Big Dipper, all those Saptarishi stars and the pole star. Because only then she gets accustomed to see Arundhati, which is a very, very small star. Similarly, the scriptures lead the sadhaka from the gross to the subtle and then to the subtlest, which is the self. So, that is how the sages show the way to self-realization. So, we have to first understand avidya, all that is called avidya, and then slowly take the ladder towards vidya. So, in other words, without knowing the gross, you cannot understand the subtle. So, without knowing unhappiness, you cannot really understand happiness. If you are eating sweets all the time, you will forget what is really sweet unless you have some namkeen or something else. Avidya actually means considering your body and the objects of the world to be the self. So extremely materialistic attitudes. This is avidya. So we have to have knowledge of the body too and the world too, and only then you can go to the higher knowledge, which is called para knowledge. Apara means lower, para knowledge. And this supreme knowledge has to be experienced. And it cannot be expressed or communicated. It has to be experienced through sadhana. Merely reading a lot of books is not, all the reading comes under apara. Para is when there is a direct intuition, when there is an epiphany, when you begin to experience the knowledge, that is para. Therefore, rituals, knowledge, action, devotion, all are necessary, all are compulsory. But eventually, we have to have the epiphany, which means a flash of insight, which means direct perception. That is para. So, we should not waste our time in all kinds of sectarian arguments, because Advaita, Vishishta Advaita, Advaita, these are all different rungs of the ladder. And all of them are correct because they are like different views of a kaleidoscope. So remember, intellectual knowledge of scriptures is the lower knowledge, direct perception is the higher knowledge. So this higher knowledge is an achievement which depends on direct experience, and to achieve that stage we have to rid our mind of all the cobwebs, all the delusions, dogmas and spiritual laziness. The word in English is accidie. ACCIDIE. Accidie means spiritual sloth. Spiritual sloth. There are many people who have no curiosity. That is called spiritual sloth, accidie. So one of my own quotes is, a kriti a day keeps accidie away. On the lines of an apple a day keeps the doctor away, a kriti a day keeps accidie away. That is Tyagaraja Kriti or Muttuswami Dikshitar or Shyama Shastri. So these are kritis, listen to them. That will keep accidie away. So actually in the 11th slokam, Isavasyam clearly says, knowledge and illusion, you have to know both in order to overcome death and achieve immortality. Vidyam cha avidyam cha yastad vedo bhayam saha avidyaya mrutyum tirtva vidyaya amrutam ashnute. So Vedanta is very clear. And even in the Bhagavad Gita, you will find Krishna is describing Asuri qualities and Daivi qualities. So you must understand what is Asuri in order to know what is Daivi. So understanding Avidya is also essential. So people are wasting their time worshipping graves and Moonmia and all that. They have no discrimination between what is good and evil. And they think that whatever they are doing is fine. They are wasting their entire life. So therefore it is necessary to analyze carefully the nature of the non-self and avidya, and only then we can progress towards knowledge of the self, which is ineffable, and for this sadhana is necessary. So therefore ritual knowledge, everything is necessary, and we must arrive at a stage when we have direct experience of God, that is para knowledge. Now there is an interesting analogy Swami Rama provided. And now listen to this interesting analogy. On one side of a river is our world, where ignorance holds man in the bonds of attachment and selfishness, and where change, death, disease, decay, all these things are causing sorrow. So on one side of the river is our world, where ignorance is binding us and causing all kinds of sorrow, misery, attachment, selfishness leading to sorrow. On the other side, the farther side of the river, is the domain of immortality, and that is the everlasting empire of jnana, Sachidananda. On the other side of the river is the domain of immortality, and sadhana is the bridge joining the two banks of the river. So the knowledge of the empire of ignorance and death will push you onto that bridge. Only when you realize that this is all ignorance, but well, that is necessary. Reality is there. So you have to deal with reality, but you have to understand that it is temporary. So only when you understand that this is all temporary, then only you will set foot on that bridge of sadhana. And once you set foot on the bridge of sadhana, you will progress gradually. And that will free you from the pain of attachment and death. On reaching the other shore, traveling on the bridge of sadhana, knowledge will dawn and immortality is attained. This is the analogy. This is what is meant by overcoming death, by understanding avidya and gaining immortality by vidya. So, the Isavasyam is clearly telling us, people who forget the aim of life and spend all their life doing only worldly activities, they remain in darkness. But those who read books and gain merely knowledge, a lot of knowledge, intellectual understanding, no, that is not sufficient. You need to understand the world, you need to read books, but you must go beyond all and have direct experience. Only then immortality or moksha is attained. And so neither knowledge nor action by itself is perfect. Understanding of both is necessary. Jai Shri Ram.